already talked a lot about NIO in our previous videos, and today is no different. However, we're not going to be talking just about NIO. We are going to be taking a look at what Ark Invest thinks about NIO. Are they against NIO? Or would they get the same type of relationship as they have with Tesla? What is really their opinion on NIO? Let's roll that intro! My name is Fanny with Studio Invest. Get your popcorn ready, because this is about to get interesting. We all know that Ark Invest has been a huge supporter of Tesla for some time. However, Ark Invest reduced their ownership in Tesla by 17% in March 2020. But this does not lead us to think that they are looking to move away from the electric vehicle market. In fact, this reduction gives space for other EV investments in their portfolio. And NIO seems to be a great choice if they choose to gain more exposure in this thriving market. We're going to jump right into the report from Ark Invest. But first, please comment your thoughts for this video or wish for future videos. We're a new channel and appreciate any feedback. We also heard that likes are great for YouTube, so give this video a thumbs up so we can continue with that report. The report from Ark Invest. The next thing we're going to do is check a report from Tasha Keeney. She's an analyst from Ark Invest, and her report was from 2017. Now, just because it's from 2017, that doesn't mean it's not relevant. First of all, Ark Invest predicts that Robo-taxi market will grow to about $10 trillion in the next 10 years. And so far, NIO is well positioned in the market and can definitely dominate in the future. That means if we do some simple math, we can see some very significant numbers. Even if NIO manages to get a very small percentage of that market, they'll still be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. If we take a closer look at the report from Ark Invest, we can see how they've compared the costs of different ways of traveling. More specifically, they've compared the cost of autonomous taxi travel, Uber, regular taxis, and the cost of actually owning a car and driving. Ark Invest predicts that autonomous taxi travel will be the cheapest form of travel in the future. For a taxi, you would expect to pay around $350 per mile. Do you even remember the last time you took a taxi to go somewhere? Of course not. Nowadays we use Uber, which would cost around $286 per mile. If you have a car, you should expect to be paying around 70 cents each mile you drive. Now, here's the big one. Ark estimates that autonomous taxis will cost consumers 35 cents per mile, or roughly half of the all-in cost car owners pay to drive today. Now NIO, together with Mobileye, is considered to be at the forefront of self-driving vehicles. Since this seems to be something that Ark Invest has their eyes on, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ark Invest look more closely at this company. Is car ownership dead? A consideration that needs to be addressed is car ownership. Not everyone is in a situation to own a car because it's too expensive for some people. In addition to that, Ark states that autonomous vehicles would cause a drop in car ownership. They also say that sales of automobiles in the developed markets will drop by nearly 50%. They believe that a sharing economy is the future economy, and if you'd like us to talk more about this in a video, let us know down below. Ark also stated that only 20% of people in China own a driver's license. In the United States, for example, 70% of the population has a driver's license. The difference is clear, and the importance of ride-sharing in China is way more significant. And remember, NIO has the Chinese government backing the company. And if you want to be a part of the early days of Robo-taxi, China is the country you should have your eyes on. One of the factors that was kind of forgotten about was the drop in accident rates. The United States is on top of the list of the highest auto death rate. Computers will also be able to react much quicker than humans and be more predictable in traffic, as there would be no emotions involved. So that will also contribute to the drop in accidents. Something that's expected is that China will benefit the most from car sharing. We could also say the same about India and Southeast Asia in general. It makes sense because in the developing markets, the ride-sharing method would be preferred due to costs associated with owning a car. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give it a like! We know for sure that Ark Invest is only out for growth companies. And another area in which NIO has a lot of growth potential is battery asset management. That's because they have a 25% equity stake in a company that specializes in that industry. According to NIO themselves, the battery asset management market is worth around 2 trillion Chinese yuan. That's about $308 billion. Now, the partnership between NIO and Mobileye can become really profitable in the future, as the trend of owning a car is expected to drop. The main way it would become profitable is by the Robo-taxi network. That's if the specific network really takes off and becomes the preferred way of travel. How far are they from this to become a reality? NIO announced a partnership with Mobileye to develop a consumer car equipped with Mobileye's complete Level 4 self-driving system that could be sold to customers by 2022. If they manage to reach this goal, that would be one step closer. But for their Robo-taxi network to become a reality, they'd need Level 5 autonomous driving systems in place, and there's no expected time frame for that yet. NIO Battery Swap Station, a way to swap batteries to complete a charge. An approach that Ark CEO Cathie Wood argues is indeed in NIO's interest, but also poses some risks. What I can't understand is why consumers would want to accept a battery swap. If it were me, I'd certainly prefer to charge at home rather than go for a battery swap, she said. Based on her response to this battery swap approach, it doesn't sound like she would be a customer to NIO. The question is if this will affect whether they invest or not into the company. This is a quote from an Ark Invest competitor that seems to have the same view as Ark Invest. We prefer Xpeng because they have their own autopilot technology. They have their own software, so they actually have their own complete hardware and software system. And they also have an operating system, Lin explained. NIO is different. They work with Mobileye on the autopilot side, and manufacturing is outsourced. Here we got an Xpeng company review video for you if you'd like to know more about the company that he's mentioning. Jonathan, an EV nerd from the Studio Invest team, says this while comparing the two. The biggest difference is that NIO is using suppliers, which necessarily is not a bad thing. It just makes it really hard for them to be the innovators in specific areas and control some costs, since they rely on partnership for everything, including battery and autonomous driving. To conclude, let's compare NIO to Tesla, which is one of Ark Invest's biggest holdings. Tesla is far ahead of the rest of the market, since they are creating their own AI and computer chip for their specific needs. Even a supercomputer that will give them insanely important data. They also have the data advantage with soon 1.5 million cars on the road that are collecting data to improve their self-driving system. We have a video where we compare the two autopilots. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out this video. The whole situation between Ark Invest and NIO is super interesting, and we don't really know what to expect, even though the predictions are mostly optimistic. But remember, NIO is depending on the Chinese government, which is a huge risk in the geopolitical climate. Let us know down in the comments below whether you think NIO will be a part of Ark Invest portfolio. And remember to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something new today. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll be out with a new video very soon, but until then, go and enjoy some Swedish fika.